such a good skier, aren't I? I'm such a good skier. Just that's all you got to do. This is the clothes you wear when you go skiing. You just wear your Criterion Collection shirt and jeans, and that's all you got to wear. No helmets or goggles. Glasses is fine. You won't lose them anyway. All right, stop that. Hello there, CriterioNate here, number 494. Michael Ritchie's Downhill Racer. 1969, 101 minutes, color minimum, blah, 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 blah. Starring the great Robert Redford as the young Dave Chaplet. David Chaplet. I want to call him Dave Chappelle. I say, okay, seriously. I want to call him Dave Chappelle so badly because, obviously. And Gene Hackman as his coach, his manager, or whatever. And Dave Chaplet is this racer. And he's basically just, he's very cocky, he's very kind of egotistical when it comes to the sport. He ends up alienating a lot of his people. When he goes back home, he and his dad have like nothing to talk about, and his dad kind of wonders why he's doing it. He ends up falling for the secretary of one of the German managers when they're in, I think they're in France at some point, and they have kind of a bit of a affair, and that kind of screws with his psyche a bit, but he still kind of gets, he's very much in the zone when it comes to playing the game and all that. That being said, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. It's very much just kind of a sporting movie, but it's also not so much about the sport as it is about what happens behind the scenes, the attitude of the players, and just everything else. I will not spoil the ending of this movie. I think it's pretty much it's a good ending. It's a very, very good ending, and overall, I think this movie just. Redford is great. I've seen Redford in a couple movies now. Seeing Gene Hackman so young, I'm used to his more recent movies like The Replacements and Hoosiers and things like that. Those are the movies I'm more familiar with him being in. So seeing him a lot younger back in the late '60s was a trip. And as far as Michael Ritchie is concerned, this is his first film. I haven't seen a lot of the other movies he's done. I've heard of a lot of his movies, like he did The Golden Child, Fletch. I have seen Fletch, though. I will give you that. I have seen Fletch. I have not seen Fletch Lives. But other movies like The Candidate, The Bad News Bears. He's definitely done a lot of movies that I would like to see. Movies that are very popular, so he was a very well-known director. He died in 2001. And so, I've been looking. I kind of not necessarily looking forward to this one, but I've always kind of been a little intrigued by this one, I will say. So, I really don't have anything else to say. It was a great movie, and a breath of fresh air from all the, the foreign films we've been seeing lately. I do kind of like seeing movies that I've heard of, but I've never seen, especially with actors I recognize, like Robert Redford and Gene Hackman and all that. So this was nice. I liked it. Downhill Racer gets an A from me. I will definitely be picking this one up. I don't know if I'll pick this one up for the sale, but it will be coming home with me sooner than later. So there you go. Supplements. There's a new interview with Robert Redford and James Salter, who's the screenwriter. There's an interview with Richard Harris and the film editor, and the Walter Koblenz, who was the production manager, and former downhill skier Joe J. Jalbert, who was on the scenes, all that. There's also long excerpts from a 1977 American Film Institute interview with Ritchie. And there's the trailer, and then there's also a 12-minute promotional featurette called How Fast, which was kind of like, I don't know, nowadays you call them an electronic press kit if it was an album, Basically, Robert Redford narrating scenes, behind-the-scenes footage from Downhill Racer. And, again, simple package. This will be a short one just because there's not much else to say, and I don't really want to spoil the whole story for you. So, I highly recommend this if you're a sports fan, if you are a fan of good dramas, if you're a fan of Robert Redford, and if you're a fan of the late 60s, movies from the late 60s like I am. I'm a huge fan of movies from the late 60s, and this one kind of just definitely satisfies my appetite for those kind of movies. So definitely going to pick this one up. Great stuff. Alright, so that's it for today. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to be kicking off the golden age of television. Oh man, I'm excited to start these. Again, I'm probably not going to get them all through all 3 discs tomorrow, because some of them are really long. I imagine I'll get it done sometime by the end of the week. I'll have the review up probably Friday or so. And then, yeah, this weekend we'll get to Shay. Shay will be this weekend. And then the next week, the Chantal Ackerman set and Roberto Rossellini's film trilogy. And then we're done. We are DONE spells done. And then Worst 14, Top 28 Showdown, and yeah. And yeah, sometime probably later this week we'll give you an update on the Barnes & Noble sale, what I've picked up, and yeah. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. It's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game is sometimes BS. Sometimes. Most of the time it makes complete perfect sense, but sometimes it's BS. But anyway, and yeah, so don't blow off your girlfriend. I'm not going to finish that more because I don't want to spoil the story. I'm not spoiling any more of the story. So yeah, so just don't get so egotistical that you end up alienating the rest of your team. Unless if you're a racer, I guess, because obviously that's all it's about, is not being a team player. But what do I know? Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all later this week for the golden age of television. I'm excited. Anyway, until then, goodbye.